Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Mystic Monday. I'm so happy you're here. I am Ashley, your shamanic minister, energy healer, spirit guide, friend, and we are diving into the topic of sacred purpose. Remember, the shamans, the indigenous peoples said and have prophesized that the times that we are living in are times of incredible transformation. And there's an ancient teaching in the emerald tablets that goes like this: as above, so below, as within, so without. And that means that we are part of the whole. We make up the whole. As things are coming to the surface externally, as evil is being exposed, as what has been suppressed is coming out, so within you, so within us, what has been suppressed is coming up. So, right away, if you're having a tough time, if you feel wounds coming up from the past, things that you thought you have healed, if you feel like you can no longer go on living the way that you have been, if you feel yourself confronting addictions, habits, patterns, programming, beliefs that don't serve you, and that's uncomfortable to look at. There's pain in change. I want to take a deep breath with you and with this Mystics Path community and just honor you. Honor you for your courage to show up, to receive these teachings, to feed your spirit for the week ahead. And if you're open to share this with somebody, like, subscribe, it really helps to grow the show. So if you feel this is a space that serves you, stick around. And thank you for supporting this show. So, the mystics' journey to unveil their purpose. Right away, what I have learned about purpose as a highly sensitive soul who is 10 years recovered from pot addiction, binge eating, mental health challenges, as somebody who's been working with clients for a decade in my spiritual business, serving hundreds, if not thousands of people through my online offerings, in-person events, etc. I have learned this about purpose. We each have a core insecurity, a core wound. And what you struggle with the most is a big blinking red arrow to how you came here to help others. In working in the field of addiction and recovery for around 6 years now, most, if not all, the people that are working there have recovered from addiction and have found incredible fulfillment in the calling to serve other people. So, what you have and are walking through is your purpose, what you struggle with the most. And for me, one of my core wounds, if not the core wound, is that I am defective, that something is just wrong with me. And if you know astrology, you can track this with your Chiron placement. Chiron, the wounded healer. The core insecurity that is meant, that is coded, that is destined to become your superpower. Your purpose is not your career. It's not what you do. It's who you are. It's who you allow people to be in your presence. It's the way you leave a room that you've been in. It's how you leave people after spending time with them. Your purpose is the energy that you carry. And that core wound, I believe, and through my shamanic training, is coded into your being. And all of your challenges can be tracked back shamanically to a core wound. So for me, it was I am defective. And that showed up in so many ways, that something is wrong with me, that I just, I can't do it. And so my medicine is born through resolving that wound in myself by going on this epic shamanic quest to meet the boogeyman, so to speak, to meet, to confront. That's a key word this week, to confront that which I was running from. I was running from the feeling that I am not capable. And so I would smoke, and so I would eat, and so I would get distracted. But once that wound became so loud, I was dying. I had to stop and look at it. And once I look at it, the inner boogeyman is always the inner child. The inner child that felt like they weren't worthy of love. They weren't deserving of acceptance. So your inner child and your core wound are the keys to your purpose, which is who you become through the alchemy of turning that core wound into its opposite. On earth, we experience contrast. So, what is the opposite of feeling defective? Feeling chosen, feeling significant to myself, feeling like I have a place here, even though I feel different. I just got back from a family reunion and I feel different. I feel different than the people around me, and my amazing partner is the same, feels different. And on my path of meeting and confronting that wound and then turning it into its opposite, to heal means to experience the opposite, to turn loneliness into connection, to turn the feeling of being unlovable into worthiness. And the mystic's power, the empath's power, is through the divine. It is supernatural power, whether you walk a religious path or not. Our power comes through the divine. It's not of this world. We're traveling this world and we are home here. I don't like the teachings that say you don't belong here or you're a spiritual being. This isn't your home. Shamanism says this is your home. Wake up. Yes, we're traveling, and yes, this is home. Right now, at least, with the trees and the butterflies and the snakes and the jaguars. Hopefully, we don't confront those things in the wild. But I think you are picking up what I'm putting down. This is our home, even if it's temporary. The mystic's power awakens through our submission to the divine. Because our plan of our purpose and our career path is not usually, if ever, what the higher calling is. I knew that I was always going to help people. I knew it. And I thought the only way to help people was to get a psychology degree. So I did. And I was considering graduate school. And I remember I graduated from college and made a 4.0 and went from failing out of a community college to having a spiritual awakening to getting sober to graduating with a psychology degree, a minor in religious studies, and a focus in psychology and addiction studies. And I remember looking at all of my options, wanting so deeply to help people, wanting so deeply to live my purpose, wanting so deeply to actualize my God-given gifts. And my sister asked me a really beautiful question. She said, Ashley, because I was confused, where do I go from here? Here's this trajectory of society, the conveyor belt. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. That's not how I was raised. My father taught me to question authority, question everything. Don't follow the crowd. This is the place for you if you are not built to follow the crowd. So my sister asked me, Ashley, when you're on your deathbed, what do you want to have mastered in your life? And it struck me in that moment that I don't want to master psychology. I want to master soul evolution. I want to help people evolve and heal at a level of soul. And then all the cards aligned for me, and I signed up for a shamanic medicine training. And now my life path has led me to become an interfaith minister, to be in seminary school. to study Islam, to study Sufism, to study Christianity, to study the Kabbalah, to study the Eastern traditions of which I specialize in. Taoism, Buddhism, Hinduism. I have so much love for the Eastern thought. And I have, even to this day, sometimes feel like I should just pick a religion or pick a path or just fall into a structure that's already here. But over and over again, I come back to my greatest love and this deeper inner calling beyond what I think I should do. And that is to create new structures for the planet. So if you are a soul like me, even if you have a 9 to 5 or are a part of a religion, you are meant to do something different. And when you do something different, you confront resistance. Is it safe? Is it safe for me to start a ministry? Is it safe for me to do a different thing? To create my own ministry that's not based in a religion, but it's interfaith. And there's always that pull as a seeker, an empath, a mystic. There's always that pull to do something different. And if you know what's ahead of you, you're on somebody else's path. My shamanic teacher would say, embrace the unknown. That is destiny. That is when you have to lean on God, Great Spirit, Yeshua, whatever you call it. If you know what's ahead of you, you're on somebody else's trajectory. That's not our role. Our role is to build something new, to be a part of something new, and to turn that wound into wisdom and that pain into purpose. So I have been on fire with purpose since I could remember. And I knew that I am supposed to help people. And that has taken so many different forms. I was a yoga teacher. I worked in recovery, coaching, nannying, loving children. There's so many ways that I've expressed that. And another element of this soul type is that there's always something more. There's always a new expression of your calling, and that is revealed through your healing journey. So, what is the core insecurity for you? That's my task for you this week is to shamanically track what is it underneath all your aggravations, all your triggers, track your triggers. What is it that your inner child is feeling? Name it. Paint a picture around it. And that is your purpose, not to live in the wound, but to use the power of collective healing. Use the power of divine miracles. We're in the age of the quickening. Your prayer is so powerful. Use all of the resources that are here to embody the opposite of your core wound. So if my core wound is I feel defective, then I'm going to talk to the part of me that decided that. Where did this come from? How does it feel? And how can I create a resolve first with myself and then go out and serve others? Because you are the medicine. It's not what you say. It's not what you wear. It's not what you do. It's not where you go. It is your essence, your energy, what you have resolved in your soul. So track the core wound. If you have a trigger, track it. Why is it so bad? Why is it so bad? Why is that? Get all the way close, close, close. Usually, our core wounds are, if not the most common one, is I feel unworthy. And if you can help someone feel worthy, you will heal yourself. Not because you're trying to heal yourself through others, but because you are using that sensitivity to serve others. Because it's like, I feel you. You ever had somebody share their challenges with you and you just start crying? And you're like, I feel you. You are bringing light to the wound. I want to read a poem from this amazing book. I just got it. It says, Rumi, the Book of Love, the Sufi mystic Rumi. The deeper the grief, the more radiant the love. Lovers' tears are the true wealth. In other words, as Rumi also says, the wound is where the light enters you. That core insecurity is what you were born to liberate in yourself and in others. You understand that sensitivity. So, that is my invitation for you this week. Track that place in your heart and speak into it, pray into it, reveal yourself. What is that feeling within me of insignificance? And it's not based in reality, it's based in experience. The truth of your being is that you are significant, not because you did anything externally. That's the lie that we're sold. It's because you exist. But it's not enough to say it. We have to go on the quest of healing and bring the wisdom through. Bring wisdom to the world based on your alchemy. The wound is where the light enters you. Grief opens the door to God's love because you finally open and surrender, and divine grace requires openness. And that's the place through which you receive divine inspiration to spread that message with the world, to serve others. And mystics and healers and empaths are artists. So, what is your art? Do you love to speak? Do you love to sing? Do you love to play drums or dance? How does the divine essence touch the world through you? What do you get lost in time doing? What is it that makes you feel so alive? That is your purpose. And it's what the world not only wants from you, but it needs from you. And to the person listening to this that might be thinking, I don't feel like people are going to listen to me. I don't feel like my message is important. I used to feel that way. And I have been on a journey of resolving that in myself and of being seen anyway. You cannot help people if you aren't willing to be seen. And what draws people in is your humanity. In this age of the internet and AI, what is the real magnet is reality, is truth, is raw vulnerability and humanity. So being seen is a really important part here. And that is the deeper journey of expression, of writing, singing, dancing. The greatest way to alchemize a core wound is to turn it into art, to turn it into something beautiful, because in that depth of grief, of pain, of confusion, that is where God is trying to reach you. That is what you know and what you understand. And that is what you are coded to help others heal. And again, it's not what you do, it's you resolving this on the inside. In every room you walk in, you are living medicine. You have turned and are turning because there's no perfected state while we're on earth. You are in that journey of turning your deepest insecurity into your greatest superpower. And I would love for you to journal if your deepest insecurity is, I'm too sensitive, I don't belong, I can't do this. What are all the reasons why that is your God-given gift? Why is that so important? Why were you made that way? If you've struggled with addiction for a long time, that was supposed to happen. And why did your soul choose to have the experience of addiction? So when we alchemize, we take the gift from the pain. In my binge eating, I learned unconditional love because every time I would binge eat, I would feel like a total piece of you know what. I would remove love from myself and I was at war. And through that process of having that pattern of binge eating for years, I really, really struggled. And I said, there literally has to be a back door. There's got to be a way out. The way out of the wound is the gift. So I started praying. What is the gift? Show me the gift. Why am I potentially choosing to play this out? What is the gift in the pain? And I took that gift of unconditional love. When you ask, it is given. I took that gift of unconditional love and I have not struggled with food for many years. And I love my cookies and I love my food and I do not struggle emotionally with food. Side note, if you struggle with food, I want you to go get my free energy healing meditation. It's a bundle. There's two meditations in there because I say that because problems with food, especially overeating, can be a way to psychically protect ourselves, to guard ourselves from the world. So we put on weight, we eat. That's the root chakra that's connected to safety because we don't feel energetically secure. We don't have the skills yet. And so often people use food to psychically protect from having the world bombard them because they're very sensitive. So I also made that connection. And many of my clients have too, where once you learn psychic protection, you don't need to regulate with food because you already have your safety and security. And I teach you exactly how to do that in this free bundle. So go grab that, whether you struggle with food or not. Maybe it's TV, maybe it's shopping, maybe it's the internet, right? We all have things that we overdo, right? And we're doing that often to regulate. So when you set your energetic protection, you are practicing what Christ taught. You aren't just waiting for somebody to save you, but you're actually practicing God's power in real time. You are being an active participant in the spiritual warfare that's happening, if you want to use those words. In this spiritual realm, you are practicing your power versus just waking up and living life. I couldn't do that anymore. I needed to train my spiritual gifts so I can actually be the light that I came here to be in the world and not just a broken empath. So this is the journey from pain to purpose, from the wounded empath to the wise person, from the wounded empath. Let me know yours below. What is the journey from the wounded empath to the wise soul, from the wounded empath to the empowered mystic? Let me know yours below. Maybe it's different than mine. Let's share those. That'd be fun. So, a couple fun assignments for you this week. Track the core wound, pray into it, ask for the gift to be revealed. Show me the gift. What is the gift that my soul could not have gotten any other way? There's a gift in the pain, there's a gift in the addiction, there's a gift in the depression. What is it showing you? And no need to rush. Sometimes our soul wants us to play something out for a certain amount of time, and then we experience miraculous healing. So try not to battle. See where you can surrender and submit to the higher plan at play. You may be fighting and trying to get out of something and turn it into wisdom. And just remember, there's a divine timing. And to be an active participant is to practice your spiritual powers, which is shielding your energy, using your commands, your voice, your prayer to bring healing into your body, into your life, into your heart, and to express, to write a story, to write a song, to write a piece of art. That's another fun assignment. Create something beautiful and raw from the most tender place within you. You can share it or not. I would love to see it, read it, or listen to it if you want to share it with me. Because what you have is gold. And this is the journey of the philosopher's stone, of the alchemical marriage, turning the lead of insecurities, of challenges, of wounding into the gold of spiritual enlightenment. This is a place on earth of contrast, and your wound is being turned into wisdom right now. You will soon move on. You will soon receive your healing. It's happening right now, and you will be a voice for others who are struggling with something similar, and they will message you. This podcast changed my life. I loved this thing that you did. You are a voice and a presence of healing, and you are the medicine. I love you. I'll see you next week.